Hey everyone. Hey. I wanted to present to you a really disturbing advice column piece from Market Watch. And I want to present this to you to show you that it does not pay to do wifey things for men who are not your husbands. Like, you will end up getting got, you will end up being exploited, you will end up being taken advantage of if you do wife things for boyfriends and fiancés, men who are not your husbands, men who have not done enough for you to secure you, right? Now, I'm going to quickly read the title. It says here, my fiance wants me off the deed and mortgage to our new home. If I don't agree, he says we'll stay engaged forever. Okay? This is horrible. Now, this is like one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. But again, I have to tell you, women tend to be so desperate to get married. They're like, oh, I want to get married. Oh, like it's an accomplishment, like it's something special. I mean, marriage definitely benefits men more than it benefits women at this point, at this time and age, right? It is not a special accomplishment if you get married. Now, it is a special accomplishment if you can keep your marriage, if you like that person, if you're compatible enough with that person. Hey. Hey, cash operator. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Great topic to be addressed. Okay, so back to the topic, right? I'm going to read to you this advice column from Market Watch. But again, the main argument here is if you do wifey things for a man that's not your husband, if you do wifey things when you're not a wife, you will likely be exploited, be taken advantage of, and just be left out looking crazy. All right? Now, let's get into this article. Whew, okay, here we go. My fiance wants me off the deed and mortgage to our new home. If I don't agree, he says we'll stay engaged forever. Okay? Now, below here, it says the house is appreciating daily due to its location, and he wants his children to inherit it. He wants me to pay rent, which essentially leaves nothing for my children. Okay. So apparently, this man and woman, they have their own children from different relationships and they bought a house together. Now, all of a sudden, this man wants this woman to get rid of her, get rid of her ownership of half the house because he wants the house all to himself and all to his children. And he wants the woman to stick around and still pay rent. Like, why would you pay rent in a house that you owned? Like, if you're paying rent in a house and you don't own it, that means you're losing all of the equity you could be building. So he wants this woman to renounce her ownership of half the house so that he can have the house all to himself. All right? So we're going to get into it, though. Hey, Zio, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Hey, Sophie. Ale House, I'm going to keep it 100. They can barely read or speak properly. What? Who are you talking about? Okay, so In Her Piece says, hey, Miss Una. Hey, In Her Piece. Hey. Okay, all right. So let's get back to the article. All right. Girl, this is so, oh my goodness. This is crazy. Okay, so dear Moneyist, my fiance, or should I say eternal fiance, because he never wants to get married, recently shocked me when he flatly stated he wants me off the mortgage and deed to our newly purchased waterfront home. We lived there for a year and paid 50-50 everything. He didn't want to debate or talk about buying me out. He was more insistent and will not budge. Okay, so he wants her off the mortgage, but he still wants her to stick around to pay half of the mortgage. How effed up is that? The first thing she did wrong was accept a 50-50 partnership. This man didn't even want to marry her. Listen, one of the best ways to tell if a man wants to marry you or not is if he wants you to go 50-50. If he wants you to go 50-50, he probably doesn't want to marry you. He's just probably using you and climbing your back so that he can be well off later. I mean, I've seen this countless times in my family. And if you're wondering, I'm putting on the bewitching oil from Art of the Root. I'm about to go out. But anyway, let's put some of this oil. It smells so good. Oh, and there's gold digger oil here. You misread that. Jesus Christ, the most ignorant people on earth. Listen to your tone. Obnoxious. You should be quiet and educate yourself. You obnoxious, loud, bombastic. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming to my channel and watching my videos, making me money. I mean, if you think I'm so low class, why are you here? Why are you giving me your attention? Your most valuable resource. Your most valuable resource is attention and time, and you're giving it to me, someone low class. So what does that say about you? Anyway, Zio says facts. It sounds like he flat out said he didn't. Stop trying to change men, ladies. It's a waste of time. And stop being with men who don't want you. If that man is not willing to provide for you, honey, he don't want you. He just wants to climb your back and benefit from your labor, benefit from your half, get something, buy a house, have a lifestyle that they couldn't have on their own. So they're going to use you, the woman, to get it, pretty much. Okay. So let's continue to read this. Okay. This happened following a conversation I instigated in which I suggested we see an attorney to have a will drawn up in case one of us passes away. The house is appreciating in value daily due to its location. It's worth $50,000 more already. And he wants his children to inherit it. He wants me to pay rent, which essentially leaves nothing for my children. He wants his eternal fiance / girlfriend to take herself off of the mortgage, take herself off of the deed, but still pay her half. So he wants to put her in a situation where she will have no legal rights to that house, but he still wants her to pay half. Still wants her to pay half. I mean, like, ladies, stop building these men. Stop building these men. I mean, it makes no sense. This is every time you build a man, this is what will happen to you. You're going to be exploited, taken advantage of, and out looking crazy. Okay? So let me continue. She says, I moved from another state and sold my beautiful home to be with this man. He sacrificed nothing. Okay? Right here. I didn't want out prior to the conversation. I still love him, but I wanted to live a committed life where we were building a future together, living in the same home. I feel like it's a slap in the face. I am shocked and brokenhearted, and he is making me feel that I am making it all about me. I already gave up my dream of marriage. She already gave up her dream of marriage, but yet she's still building a man, going 50-50 with a man who doesn't even want to marry her. Ladies, y'all have to have more self-love than this. Please do not get involved. Please do not get involved with any type of man if you don't have enough self-love to know that you deserve more than to be some man's Bob the Builder where he's just going to leave you after you build him up and pay 50-50. So Zio says, oh no, she sold her home. Nah, house wouldn't have been sold until we were officially married. And even then I most likely would have held on to it. Definitely. I mean, I saw comments on this thread and some, intelligent women were saying she should have, kept her home and rented it out so that she still had something, right? But then someone also mentioned that, okay, the reason why she probably sold her home was to get enough capital, get enough money, get a big enough chunk of money where she could help this man put down on the down payment, right? She was going to help this man do some damage on the down payment to this like prime piece of property that's on the waterfront, right? That's a prime waterfront property that's already appreciating very, very quickly right after they bought it, right? So that's why she probably sold it. She probably sold it to help that man who didn't even want to marry her buy a house that he couldn't afford on his own. Y'all, a lot of these men are not with you because they want to be with you. A lot of these men will be with you because they need financial help to live a better lifestyle. They need a woman to work and have a job and go 50-50 with them. A lot of these men are not with you because they actually want to be with you. They're with you because they need more money. They need another income to supplement their lifestyle. So be wary. Thunder Scorpion says, hey, universe. Hey, chat. Hey, Thunder Scorpion. Hey, how are you? All right, so let's continue to read this. Okay. He said that if I don't want to pay rent, we can live in separate houses and continue to date eternally, which to me sounds completely like a huge step backwards. I am a hardworking person with a very good credit rating, and I always pay my half of the mortgage a month in advance. He thinks I am unreasonable. And then she says, I moved, this is, and stop sacrificing your lives for these men. If they want you, they're going to set you up so you don't have to, take the brunt of a sacrifice. She says, I moved from another state and sold my beautiful home to be with this man. He sacrificed nothing. If I buy my own home, I doubt if he would stay overnight at my home. I just feel that this decision was influenced by money. I hate the way he's making me feel emotionally unstable and insecure because I disagree with him. Okay. Now, and then she's like, what should I do? Now, the columnist at the Market Watch said, dear fiance, asking you to both quit claim your share of the property to your boyfriend and take yourself off the mortgage, assuming that the bank would even allow that, which is far from a given, is unreasonable. Using a wedding ring and your clear desire to get married as leverage is despicable. So even these financial columnists are letting her know that this guy used you because he saw how desperate you were to get married, and he gave you a little ring, called you his fiance, never married you, but he's using your desire for marriage as leverage, which he did to get the capital he needed to get that house that he would have never been able to get on his own on the waterfront, at a waterfront property, right? So ladies, if a man is not providing for you, he does not want you. Point blank, period. Just get that through your head. Like, a lot of these men just want to climb your back to get access to lifestyles and property and assets that they would have never been able to have access to without your half of the income, without your half of the paycheck, without your half of the rent, without your half of the bills. Okay? Please preach. I mean, it's unfortunately, we've been taught, oh, go half with a man, go half. It's silly. Don't do this. Okay? So I'm going to continue to read this. So, and it's sad that these financial columnists are having to have these conversations with a woman about, self-love and dignity, and having a stronger sense of self-worth and self-esteem. But he says, I disagree with you on one salient point. Not getting married to this man after such a long engagement would be a huge step forward as long as you take one more step forward to freedom with exactly 50% of this home that you purchased together. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go past some of this, but he says here, if this is how he treats you in your relationship now, imagine how he would treat you if you signed over your half of the house. Imagine how he would treat you if you did get married, heaven forbid. A girlfriend or wife who pays rent on a home she used to co-home. Do you understand? He wants her to pay rent on a house that she currently owns. He didn't even want to buy her out. He wanted her to just drop all that money that she put into that house, take it for himself and his children while she was still paying rent. That's how evil, yo. If this isn't proof as to why building a man isn't smart, I don't know what is. Here, the columnist says, whatever social contract you sign up to by becoming engaged has now been broken by his indecent proposal. If this house is rising in value, I suggest you both rent it out, live separately, and show him that what he thinks you want, you don't want anymore, or else sell the home. And then they ask, did he need you to co-sign this mortgage, or is it just a random change of heart? Either way, stop calling him your fiance for the purpose of this dilemma and just view him as another human being who is offering you a bad deal and using emotion to get it over the line. And a lot of these men will do this to y'all, and y'all just, it goes right over your head. A lot of these men present to you women horrible deals. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Stop doing wife things with boyfriends and fiancés. If that man has not married you, don't combine finances. Don't put no money down. Don't buy a house together. Don't do none of that. It's not worth it. If he doesn't care enough about you to secure you in a marriage, then why would you give him your hard work, your labor? Why? Why? Okay, I'm going to continue to read this. Even say here, if he tries to woo you back, remember this is who he is. People don't change. People don't change. A partner who would make such a suggestion won't change who he is. He will merely put up a different type of wallpaper and move the furniture around to make you think everything is shiny and new. Okay? And this goes back to, I think, right here, Zio. She says facts. It sounds like he flat out said he didn't. Stop trying to change men, ladies. It's a waste of time. Absolutely. Okay? So I'll continue to read this. It said here, you stayed with this man not because you wasted years, but because it took the amount of time it took to learn what it was you were supposed to learn from this experience. Among the lessons, you deserve a good relationship and you are able to face life on your own. Okay? So, I mean, ladies, this woman who wasn't married to this man, right? The man didn't care enough about this woman to marry her. The man did not care enough about this woman to marry her. The woman obviously wanted marriage. So he used the fact that she was desperate for marriage, wanted marriage, he leveraged that fact to get the capital he needed to buy a waterfront property that's high value and appreciating quickly. Because he probably wouldn't have been able to buy that property without her half of the mortgage, of the down payment and the mortgage, right? Understand, a lot of these men will do this. A lot of these men marry you not because they actually want you, but because they need financial help. They need your half of the down payment. They need your half of the mortgage. They need your half of the rent. They need your half of the bills to make it have the type of lifestyle that they want. They don't want you. If a man is willing to sit there and look at you struggle and force you to cough up 50% of the rent, bills, mortgage, or whatever, he doesn't want you. Because men who want you will provide for you. But anyway, I have to go now. I have to run. But ladies, don't get got out in these streets. Never accept a man who will not provide for you. If a man is not providing for you, he doesn't want you. He's just using you as a barber the builder, and he's climbing your back. He's climbing your back so that he can have things that he would not be able to have without your help, without your half of the mortgage, without your half of the bills, without your half of the rent. He does not want you. A man that really, really wants a woman doesn't want to sit there and watch that woman struggle and be a workhorse and be a work mule and cough up half of nothing. That man will take care of a woman that he really wants. That man will provide for a woman that he really wants. That man will protect a woman that he really wants. So don't fall for the okie doke. Understand that a lot of men are out here trying to be your boyfriend, trying to be your fiance because they need financial help, because they are not able to be providers. They are not provider material. Men like this do not deserve marriage, and they do not deserve access to women. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. And I have to go, but make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and share this video with a woman you know who needs to hear this message. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye.